Now let's discuss about the issues that we encounter with the concurrent managers or with the sysadmins. And this tutorial is really important from interview point of view, because often we get questions that related to concurrent managers, and these are the types of questions. And in case if you get any one of this or type of this, you can give these answers. The situations when we need to bounce the concurrent managers, the answer would be when we modify the definition of printer, when all requests are pending or hanging, when actual and target are not the same. The next kind of questions we might get: what are the reasons concurrent manager hangs? There might be multiple reasons, but the main one of the reasons is long running jobs. Pending, standby and requests are too many. The database hangs because the archive log destination is full or inactive session. So these are the reasons that makes a concurrent manager hangs. The third kind of question that you might get: the users complaining that their requests are taking a long time. So how would you approach? First, we need to check the status of the request, how long it is running, and also to check the previous program. Issue can be with the actual and target. We need to run a trace on the request ID to find out the expensive SQL and tell the developer to fix the same. There might be certain locks and blocks at the database level, or the manager is busy processing some other request. Before execution of the main request, it might be dependent on some other request and the child request or the process has failed. So this can be the reasons why the requests are taking for a long time. Also, we might get a question that says user complaining that the application or the forms is running slow. How would you approach? First, we need to find out whether it's an issue from the database, application or network. Next thing, was it working fine before? If yes, what are the changes that have been done? We should have enough hardware resources like RAM, processors, etc. Do we have any invalid objects? If there are many, we can compile it. We also need to make sure to gather statistics on a regular basis. Sometimes some profile values are enabled from site level, so that's also the reason that might be that the application is running slow. Issue can be with the standard manager, issue can be with the actual target, or when the table's FND concurrent request or the FND concurrent processes reaches the 20,000 rows, we need to purge the concurrent request on a regular level. So these are the types of issues that we get in real time, and we can say it, this is the issue we have faced and these are the approaches. One of the activity that we have in my organization is to activate a TDS manager. So you might be thinking, what is a TDS manager? It's the customized manager. So what happens over here? A particular user is there who submits many requests at the month end. So what we did, we defined a special manager, that is the TDS manager for that particular user. So we get a ticket or the request from the client stating that activate this TDS manager. So what do we do and how do we approach? We go to concurrent manager, define F11 and the standard manager. In the standard manager, in the specialization rule, we delete the user Shailesh G. Shailesh G is the user who has been dedicated with this TDS manager, and we change the work shifts to 20-20-20. This is client specific. Now from concurrent manager administrator, we activate the TDS manager and the standard manager. So what does it mean? Now when the user Shailesh G is running the request, TDS manager will take care of all the requests that have been submitted by the user Shailesh G. Whereas if other users are submitting requests, that will be taken care by standard manager. Since Shailesh G submits a lot of requests, our organization has designed this specific manager, and we activate it whenever he wants to request. After ShailaSG is done with his work, then we need to deactivate it. So the steps would be, we need to go to Consurrent Manager, define F11, specialization rule, include user ShailaSG, and make the work shift what it was before, that is 20, 150, 150. And from the front end again, Consurrent Manager Administrator, activate Standard Manager. The reason why we activate, because in the beginning the work shifts were 20, 20, 20, and since we have changed it to 150, 150, in order to get it reflected, we activate Standard Manager and deactivate the TDS Manager because ShailaSG is done with its month-end activity. Now, if any user submits a request, that will be taken care by Standard Manager, and if also ShailaSG submits a request, it will be taken care by Standard Manager because we have deactivated the TDS Manager. This is one of the activity that we do on a regular basis at the month end. So these are the daily activities of Standard Manager or the issues that we face related to Standard Managers or Consurrent Managers. Now let's discuss how do we tune a Consurrent Manager. The first is sleep cycle. It's the number of seconds your Consurrent Manager waits between checking the list of pending concurrent requests. A manager only sleeps only if there are no runnable jobs in the queue. So what tips can be followed? During peak time, when the number of requests submitted is expected to be high, set the sleep time to be reasonable wait time, that is 30 seconds dependent on the average runtime and to prevent backlog. Otherwise, set the sleep time to be high number, that is 2 minutes. So this avoids constant polls to check for new requests. The next option will be to increase the cache size, the number of requests cached to be at least twice the number of target process. For example, if a manager's work shift has one target process and the cache value should be 3, it will read 3 requests and try to run those 3 requests before reading any other request. The next step for the tuning of the Consurrent Manager would be to avoid enabling an excessive number of standard or specialized manager. The reason why it decreases the performance due to constant polling on queue tables like F&D concurrent request. You can create specialized manager only if there is a real need for the specialized manager. Truncating of report logs in the log directory. Truncate of file report.log is a regular maintenance work of application DBA. Make sure that the report log file size should not increase to its maximum limit of 2 GB. This maintenance needs to be done manually and regularly depending on the number of concurrent programs which uses reports.log. You can safely truncate reports.log. Ensure that the log out files are removed from the location, that is APPL-CSF log and APPL-CSF out. And also make sure to schedule the program purge concurrent requests or add manager program data on regular basis. So these are the steps in order to tune a Consurrent Manager. Now we have certain important queries which you can try out in your demo system to find out that which manager run a specific concurrent request or to find out details of any particular SID. So these are the queries that we have. We can try out in a demo laptop or in a demo system. At the end of this chapter, we have a URL. You can follow this URL where you can get all the important queries related to Consurrent Manager. So that's all I have from the sysadmin or the Consurrent Manager chapter. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. We'll meet you in my other tutorials. Thanks for your time.